उनका स्वागत करिए। साथ साथ इनके जो सेकेंड इंचार्ज, जो को फाउंडर है, ये हमारे साथ है यहाँ पे डॉक्टर लुइस बेनिनी, और उनके सहयोगी है जेन, जो यूएसए से आ चुके हैं गेम यहाँ पे इंट्रोड्यूस करने के लिए, यहाँ पे उसका एक डेमो करने के लिए। और यहाँ की जो बॉडी है जीमेल 360 इंडिया, यहाँ के हमारे डायरेक्टर है एम्बेसडर डॉक्टर ऑलविन रोनाल्ड, और मैं हूँ एंथनी फर्नांडिस। हमारे सेक्रेटरी साथ में है लियो क्रिस्टी। हमारे साथ हमारे शुभचिंतक है और सहयोगी, हमारे जो पेट्रन है एम्बेसडर ऑफ पीस मोहम्मद वसीम साहब और मोहम्मद जावेद हुसैन साहब, इनका स्वागत करता हूँ। आप सभी का स्वागत करता हूँ। ये गेम एक नई गेम है हिंदुस्तान में, और इस गेम का जो महत्वपूर्ण है कि ये बाकी जो जितने भी गेम्स है हम स्टेट लेवल पे खेलते हैं, चाहे फुटबॉल हो, हॉकी हो या कोई भी हो। यहाँ पे पूरे 360 एंगल पे कॉन्सेंट्रेट करना पड़ता है। जो गोल कीपर है, जो सेंटर ग्रेनेड कीपर है। अब हमारे पास जो वीडियो है, हम आपको वीडियो दिखाएंगे, शायद देख सकेंगे आप लोग कि गेम का कैसे ये है परफॉर्मेंस है कि किस तरह से खेला जाता है। ये हम लोग दिखाएंगे कि गेम किस तरह से खेला जाता है यूएस में, और एक आपको उसका एक स्वरूप समझ सकते हैं। उसके बाद हम लोग आप हमसे सवाल पूछ सकते हैं, हम आपको बता देंगे। ये गेम अभी प्रसिद्ध 10 कंट्री में, 10 देशों में, एशिया में पहला देश है, और इससे ही हम यहाँ से हम लोग इसका प्रचार करेंगे अन्य देशों में। इसमें 7 प्लेयर होते हैं दोनों टीम में, और एक प्लेयर दोनों टीम के गोलकीपर होते हैं ग्रेनेड के अंदर, ग्रेनेड होते रिंग जो होती है, और 6 प्लेयर्स बीच में खेलते हैं। इसका स्वरूप आप लोग देख सकते हैं, और फिर उसके बाद हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे। आपको अगर कुछ सवाल पूछना हो।
हटिएगा,
अरे माइक
अरे हटिएगा आप, माइक हटाइए। आप हटिएगा।
Whoever scores the most runs wins. Because of the shape and position of the ground, scoring is achieved and must be defended from all angles, creating a 360-degree play. This concept, quantum thinking 360, expands the thought process and encourages players to think outside the box. Unlike many sports today that require a high degree of skill or physical presence, Hanetball 360 can be played and enjoyed at all levels and by players of all shapes and sizes. Hanetball 360 builds cardiovascular health and helps maintain a healthy weight by employing the concept of interval training. Research shows short bursts of intense full body activity burns far more calories than other forms of exercise. Currently, teams from around the world are preparing to compete. This is your chance to become part of this new global phenomenon. To learn more about this exciting game, go to www.hanetball360.com. Hanetball 360, the revolutionary sport of the 21st century.
Families and athletes of all sports, Hanetball 360 will celebrate and mark National Sports Day with its first exciting championship lineup on October 16, 2022 at Whiskey Chase Arena, NSU 3301 College Ave, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where the two most powerful teams in Hanetball 360 history will compete for first place. Florida Icon versus Palm Beach and Bar. Alfred Berry plays the Fort Lauderdale Blues versus Orlando Design. Come with your friends and family and experience fun, exciting, fast-paced, non-stop action-packed sport. Hanetball 360. Your new way of fun. All in one day, one location. Rick Case Arena, Nova Southeastern University, 3301 College Ave, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Admission is $35 in advance. Doors open at 4 p.m. Tickets at Eventbrite. For more information, call 1-800-752-9360. Or for a place near you, visit Hanetball360.com.
First of all, I want to say thank you. I wanted to say thanks to the highest and thank you to the Indian government that is making it possible for us to be here and all the Indian people who receive us with lots of love and compassion in the way they offer us their heart and their generosity and their hospitality. I wanted to say thank you to all of them. I see so much artwork, so much potential, so much expressions that I see that is ready to burst out of the Indian people. And I know Hanetball 360, which is right in between sport and entertainment, will provide a platform for all Indians and different form of entertainment and walk of life to express themselves even too much bigger to the national stage of India and to the rest of the world. But also I wanted to say thank you for the key persons that allowed this to happen today. I wanted to say thank you to Dr. Wallen, who was the one after Jean referred us to him to bring the sport in India. We were in the middle of negotiating to bring the sport to Nigeria, and then he said for us to come here. With his due diligence, and India become the 5th country we visited to present the sports. Nigeria still have to wait. And then also, this become possible because of Dr. and General Anthony. He's the one who make it possible and give us the guarantee where we can go throughout India that everything will be taken care of. And the third persons that make it possible say, I'm going to organize as much as I can and to make this happen is Christy that is here. Thank you. But also, just traveling was not something that was in my mind because I was in the middle of playing of a championship, our first national and international championship that we are having in Florida. But these two gentlemen here, Luther Benjamin, which is the number 2 in the U.S., the Hanetball 360, DMI 360 Global, and then also we have Dr. Jean, who plays so many roles. But one of the key roles, the video and everything that you were watching, all the post-productions being done by him, which is the visual arts, and to make the people to see the potential in everything that's behind the scene. And then also, I wanted to say thank you for our 2 peace ambassadors. We have many peace ambassadors here. Dr. Jean is a peace ambassador. Dr. Wallen is a peace ambassador. And we have our brother, Dr. Wasim, is a peace ambassador and a huge believer into the sport. And then we have Dr. Jama, also another peace ambassador that's make it possible. But how can this information reach the Indian people? How can the people know and to benefit from it without the press? So for that, I wanted to say thank you for always be ready and to make sure the people knows what's happening and what's going on and how for them to benefit from it. Now, without going any further, in about 360, why will anyone in this age, in this moment in history, try to bring a news to the world? If you look at the players that was playing, they already answered our why. But in about 360, not just in youth sports, but it's the achievement of all the sports that's already happened in the world. All the sports we've seen before play in the form of a linear, back and forth. And any objective is to score into a square. In the basketball, for example, you have to square into like a round that is faced in a way that you can really look at the round and still in a 180 to 210 degree. Hanetball 360 changed that. It's allowed people to strategize and to accomplish goal in a 360 degree opportunity. By doing it physically, strategizing, and mentally accomplish the goal, it's create a new path into realizations, which we call a quantum thinking 360, or in the West we call it redefine possible. With Hanetball 360, all Indians will redefine what is possible. And the objective of the game is to score points called run. The arena where Hanetball 360 play, it's called an arena because it's the sport that's played over. But also, the place where they score the runs called run nets. And the person who stay inside play the goalie, like if it would be soccer, we call it run meter. And this will change the way people communicate later. Because goal is some things that somebody standing outside of a guard, like a guard. But Hanetball 360 requires something much more. It requires someone who's paying attention, where the aim coming from every angle, every direction. But Hanetball 360 is a 52-minute sport game that is divided into 4 13-minute rounds. And Hanetball 360, not just a sport that's played where players try to pass the ball and control the ball to score points, but it's a sport that mimics life itself. For example, for the months and the years, we have 12, at least in the Western calendar. In the Hanetball 360, you have 12 penalties that form the gauntlet. And in the 12 months, you also have 12 daylight, time in it, you have 12-9. So that's the reason you have Team A versus Team B, because it's duality that's make life possible. If, for example, if there was no reason to report the news for, why would anyone cover? So it's the newscasters, the journalists, with the people we have thirst for information that make all the professions possible. In Hanetball 360, there are 7 players per team. We happen to have 7 days in the week as well. In Hanetball 360, you have 4 seasons in the world. In Hanetball 360, you have 4 rounds. So every aspect of life is involved in Hanetball 360. If you take it in the form of a photon, which is smaller part that people can observe, or an atom. If you look at it into a microscope, not only you will see round, but you will see vibrate also round. So everything is more dense. 360 degrees. The universe, which is the biggest thing we can imagine, is also 360 degrees. So life starts from 360 degrees, it will always remain 360 degrees. But we never had a path to strategize and to think about it in a 360 degrees. With Hanetball 360, I see an opportunity for all Indians, with the help of the Indian government, to redefine possible. Like if I'm looking throughout the world, what's make people become great, it's what they take on to. If I'm looking for Japan, they take the transistor. With the transistor, they conquer the automobile industry, they conquer electronics, and make Japan is all over the world very wealthy. If you look at the West with finance and what they did, and make the world in themselves very wealthy. If you look at China, which is the other biggest superpower that is coming along, they're doing it with manufacturing. What I propose, that you don't have to follow it, I propose for Indians to take sports as the next frontier to conquer. And the people who conquer sports in all the business in it, the science, the marketing, the design, the architectures, and the business of it will conquer the known world with the highest potential. So with that, I thank you. If there's any questions or if any of the members that I have here needed to speak, and I will be glad to answer any of your questions.
What is the size of the ground? What is the number of teams that are playing in championship at Pro? And what is the prize money?
Yeah, the number of teams that will play in the championship in South Florida are 4 teams. The 2 losing teams will play and compete for the 3rd place, and the 2 winning teams will compete for the 1st place.
What is the size of the ground?
The groundnet measures 12 feet in diameter by 4 feet in height. That's the measurement of the groundnet.
Length and breadth.
The diameter, which is if you cross the inside circumference, it's the diameter. It's 12 feet in diameter. The height of the groundnet is 4 feet, 48 inches. Now, the groundnet sits into a circle that's measured 30 feet. And it's also a measure of life. It's the most cylindrical structure you can build, and the biggest for it to be very compact. If you try to go outside of space, it's 30 feet. No one ever tried to attempt of something bigger than that. So it's part of life. But also, that circle that's called the circle hole, that is 30 feet in diameter, also inside another circle that is 36 feet. And the 36 feet circle is where you have to stand to shoot free throw, for example, in basketball or in soccer, a penalty. So this is where all the 4 score points rewarded have to be taken.
Do you have some scoring points limited? Either it is like badminton, you have 15 games. Lawn tennis, you have different type of games. So in this scoring, how you do the scoring point, and how many recesses are there? After 10 minutes, how much time it takes for the recess? And then, do you have a baby team? Girls are involved in this? Because unless and until you have, unless and until you have some ladies or celebrities, the game cannot be popularized unless any event you start, it has to have a sponsor or celebrities of any sort, whether a film star, sports person in America or anywhere in Europe. So do you have any ambassador of your game? And is the game limited to gents? And do you do the passing ordinary way or what are the high foul point?
Thank you for asking this question. There are too many aspects. If asked, I need to go one by one to speak. First and foremost, as you say, the game is not limited only to male. It is for boys, girls, female as well as male. Because what the game is, never a game is only for the purpose of playing. It is always for the purpose of getting your fitness, healthiness, and to be good into your body and mind. That is why we have got boys, girls, female and male together, one thing. Second question about yours, we have got celebrities. We have got various celebrities all over. I don't know about the US celebrities. But in India, we have got many celebrities. We have got Rohit Gaur, who is from the Babiji Ghar Pe, Tiwari ji. We have got Hemant Pandey, who is also an Hasya Kalakar, you can see. We have got Manoj Sharma, who is also one of the directors for Hindi movies. So looking to that, we have got so many of them. Jojo Nathan, who is a singer. As far as India is concerned, we have got a lot of team of ambassadors who are supporting this particular game. Right from actor to actress, we were on the set of Babiji Ghar Pe, various other sets, and they are also given us the support. And there are also people from the Indian Olympic Association and the federations around here who are supporting it. But as far as concerned, this game is very new, and so we take it on ourselves to see to it that the promotion is done, basically to the required audience, that is the kids, the children at the school and the university level, and then to the team who are interested. Because it has just come up now. So everything will be in place maybe another 1 year maximum. As far as you asked about the prize money which was there in the game, he will be able to tell you what is the prize money we have kept for the championship in Florida, this World Championship.
Yes, we wanted to keep this little bit private so we can announce it and into the game because it's going to be our first championship. But at Hanetball 360, we launched the sports different than any other form of business I've launched before. We started from professional. So that means everyone who's going to play the sport will know exactly where they're going to, where they belong, to the professional level. From professional level, we're going to go to college level and university. And from there, we're going to grade school. And then from grade school, we're going to spread to the community. And everything is possible. Not only Hanetball 360 have ambassadors all over the world, we create Hanetball 360 Ambassadors Club. So that means people who associate in the sports, people who wanted to have access with players, with celebrities, with officials in the sports, like it's difficult in other sports to do, and Hanetball 360, you will have access to it once you join the Ambassadors Club. With the Ambassadors Club, all the players, everyone who play the sports will be the first ambassadors because they're the one who express the sports, they're the one who behind it. But also, from the press and to the general public, anyone who wanted to associate and benefit from the sport are ambassadors of Hanetball 360. Hanetball 360 is a sport, if you look at it from a standpoint, we have the same appeal with the NBA, like league in the US. But that's what we wanted to bring to India, to have your own professional where you will make heroes like everywhere, in every state, in every community. You will make heroes. But also it will be a source of revenue and finance for everyone in the chain of the Indian economy. And from that point on, there will be licensing that's be given for people to sell our product. And then also license for people to coach the sports in many different levels. There will be license to own professional teams. This is something that is ready. But the biggest secret of Hanetball 360 is none of the above. But the biggest secret of Hanetball 360, because of the way the gun net is designed, it's designed by panel, and it's designed with a screen that you can see through at the same time put artwork. Any institutions, any community that want to have an Hanetball 360, all they have to do, they have two options. Pay for it and have it, or go in your community, have about like 20 businesses that want to have their names to be displayed on the equipment. And those business will pay for it. There's no other sports or no other form of business that is designed that way. This will move through the world as the fastest. Any one of us here will see Hanetball 360 in more than 100 countries in the next 5 years. We already applied for patent in 83 countries already in the world.
What is the status of the playing in country? I think Republic the school level, the state level, and other playing the commercial match.
Yes. The places where the sport is being played right now is Cuba. We have 2 teams in there. And the second country was on the international was Dominican Republic. We have 2 teams there as well. And we have Haiti.